Daily News Stream, April 16th, 2025.
U.S. President Trump's envoy, Keith Kellogg, says Ukraine could be divided into 3 zones. British and French troops would keep peace in the west. Russia would control the east, and between them would be Ukrainian forces in a demilitarized zone, while the U.S. would support the plan but not send its own troops.
Welcome to Ukraine.
Britain's Prince Harry makes a surprise visit to Ukraine to meet war-wounded veterans at a rehab center and says he will visit the country again.
Iran and the U.S. conclude constructive nuclear talks mediated by Oman and agree to meet again on Saturday, April 19, 2025, to continue negotiating an end to Iran's nuclear weapons program.
Analysis: U.S. President Trump is right about China. His high tariffs may be necessary to rebuild U.S. industry and push back against China's numerous trade violations, slave labor, human rights abuses, and support for Russia, says former UK Conservative Party leader Sir Ian Duncan Smith.
This is either madness or genius.
Analysis: U.S. President Trump isn't bonkers like the news media is portraying him. His global tariff plan to level the economic playing field is entirely justified and will likely help America secure better trade deals with key partners, says British economist Liam Halligan.
Stuff should be made here. U.S. workers in the state of Ohio support President Trump's tariff plan to bring manufacturing jobs back to America.
U.S. judge upholds a rule requiring illegal immigrants to register themselves or face jail or fines. Another major win for President Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration.
Authorities warn parents to keep an eye on their kids' online activity after a 12-year-old boy in France was convicted of 2 terrorism-related charges. He had been influenced by ultra-violent Islamic State propaganda, including thousands of gruesome videos and images. In France, 70% of people arrested for suspected terror plots are under 21, with similar trends seen in other countries. This shows how easily young people nowadays are exposed to harmful content online.
Hackers breach Morocco's social security database in an unprecedented cyber attack, leaking personal data on the messaging app Telegram. Authorities have not named suspects yet.
Indonesian doctors urgently warn against drinking contaminated water after horrifying images show giant worms being removed from a 3-year-old boy's body.
Antibiotic resistance is linked to over 3 million child deaths in 2022, mostly in Africa and Southeast Asia, study finds.
Simple new blood test could help identify Parkinson's disease at its earliest stages, years before symptoms arise, new research finds.
Schools in Punjab, Pakistan, are urged to change working hours or start summer holidays early if extreme heat persists.
Climate change is supercharging pollen allergies, hitting sensitive people with more pollen over a longer season due to rising temperatures, while extreme allergy events that cause mass hospitalizations are becoming more frequent.
Report: the Caspian Sea is shrinking fast, likely losing an area larger than Iceland, even below 2 degrees Celsius of global warming. This endangers animals like Caspian seals, sturgeons, and migratory birds as their habitats vanish. Coastal towns also face major problems as ports are left high and dry. Local economies struggle, and toxic dust makes people sick. Just like what happened with the Aral Sea, less rain also means farming will suffer, so countries in the region must work together urgently.
French property owners help re-establish wildlife and biodiversity on their land using a recent law that grants long-term protection for their properties and requires future owners to continue improvements.
Jain online educational platform Arihanta Institute launches a $1 million endowment for professorship in vegan and animal advocacy studies, reinforcing its mission to promote non-violence and compassionate lifestyles rooted in ancient wisdom.
Self-reflecting quote of the day: our character is what we do when we think no one is looking. H. Jackson Brown, Jr.
For more relevant news from around our planet, please visit suprememastertv.com/NWN.